Diesel versus gasoline engine. Which one is best for you? When it comes to engines, the battle between diesel and gasoline has been raging for decades. Diesel engines provides incredible fuel efficiency and unmatched pulling power, while gasoline engines offer lightning-fast speed and thrilling performance. But which one truly fits your needs? In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know, from making the fueling products diesel and gasoline to their various engine fuel economy, power, cost, maintenance, and performance. By the end, you'll know exactly which engine precisely will suit your lifestyle, so you can make an informed decision. Diesel and gasoline engines have been around for so long. They are the power sources for various kinds of machines. Diesel and gasoline consist of hydrocarbons. However, they have their individual, unique characteristics, even though they both fall under the category of distillate, sharing the same origin as refined products of crude oil. Their production processes and applications are different and are tailored for distinct uses in engines and machinery. First, let's look at how they are made. Diesel and gasoline are two of the most common types of fuel used in vehicles today, and a whole lot of other types of machinery. Both are made from fossil fuel or crude oil extraction from the ground or drilled from the ground. Fossil fuels are basically ancient lineages of dead animals and plants that have been buried in the ground for a very long time. Over time, these dead plants and animals got heated by hot, steamy water deep inside the earth, the ground. And as the temperature rose and got higher and hotter, it then creates a chemical reaction to those dead plants and animal fossils that transformed them into oil, liquid, or coal, solid. Gasoline and diesel are simply forms of petroleum, aka the oil or coal byproducts, that have different chemical structures. Diesel and gasoline are both made by refining crude oil, but they are different in how they're processed. Diesel is created at higher temperatures during the distillation process, making it heavier and less volatile than gasoline. Gasoline, on the other hand, is refined at lower temperatures, resulting in a lighter, more flammable fuel suitable for smaller engines like those in cars. So when crude oil arrives at the refinery, it undergoes multiple steps before the combustion engine can use it in your car. First, it is distilled, which is a term for heating and separating of oil, then converted. This conversion stage is where companies add chemicals to the oil in containers for the outcome they want. And finally, they are treated, which is where the blending elements happens. What comes from that are the various fuel products you see in gas stations. How do cars use these fueling products? The main difference between how diesel and gasoline engines work lies in the way they ignite the fuel. Diesel engines rely on compression to generate heat and ignite the fuel, while gasoline engines use spark plugs to create a spark that triggers combustion. In a diesel engine, air is first drawn into a cylinder, a hollow space in the engine. Inside the cylinder is a piston, which is a sturdy metal rod that moves up and down to compress the air. When the piston moves upward, it compresses the air to extremely high pressure and temperature, so much that the heat alone is enough to ignite the fuel. At the right moment, fuel injectors spray a fine mist of diesel fuel into the superheated compressed air. This causes the fuel to ignite in a controlled explosion, creating energy that forces the piston downward again. This motion is what powers the engine, transferring energy to the car's wheels to make it move. In a gasoline engine, the process is slightly different. Gasoline is first mixed with air before it enters the engine. This mixture is created either in a carburetor in older cars, or more commonly today by a fuel injection system. Once this air-fuel mixture enters the cylinder, the piston compresses it, though not as much as in a diesel engine. To ignite the mixture, a spark plug generates a small electric spark at just the right moment, causing a controlled explosion. The resulting force pushes the piston downward, just like in a diesel engine. This movement is transferred through a series of rods and gears to turn the car's wheels. The difference in how these fuels ignite, compression in diesel engines versus sparks in gasoline engines, also explains why diesel engines are more fuel efficient and better suited for heavy-duty vehicles, while gasoline engines are lighter, more responsive, and common in smaller cars. How much they cost. The cost of producing diesel is lower than that of gasoline, meaning that you should expect to pay less for a gallon of diesel. However, the prices of both fuels have been going up and down in recent years. It's worth noting that the demand for diesel is somewhat different than gasoline, as it is usually used in large machinery, industrial factories, and power generators. Today, diesel costs more in the US than it does in other parts of the world, because of the high taxes levied on it due to strict regulations on greenhouse gas emissions and carbon monoxide standards. This is why some car makers are switching their American models from diesel to gas engines. The cost of buying a new car also depends on what kind of vehicle you want. A diesel-powered vehicle will generally be more expensive than its gasoline counterpart because it needs different parts that cost more during production and maintenance. Mileage expectation. Diesel cars generally offer better fuel economy compared to gasoline-powered cars, making them ideal for long-distance driving and heavy-duty applications. On average, diesel engines are about 20 to 35% more fuel efficient than gasoline engines. This efficiency stems from their design. Diesel engines compress air at much higher ratios, typically around 14 to 22 to 1, compared to 8 to 12 to 1 for gasoline engines, creating enough heat to ignite the fuel without needing spark plugs. This eliminates the energy loss associated with creating sparks, making diesel engines more energy efficient overall. Another critical factor is the higher energy density of diesel fuel. A gallon of diesel contains roughly 15 to 20% more energy than a gallon of gasoline, which means diesel cars can travel farther on the same amount of fuel. For instance, a typical diesel vehicle might achieve 35 to 40 miles per gallon on the highway, while a comparable gasoline car might average 25 to 30 miles per gallon. This higher energy density contributes to longer driving ranges, making diesel engines a cost-effective choice for frequent or long-distance drivers. Diesel engines also excel in torque, which is the rotational force that helps a vehicle move. Diesel-powered vehicles often deliver torque values that are 25 to 50% higher than their gasoline counterparts at lower engine speeds, or RPMs. This makes them particularly well suited for towing heavy loads or hauling trailers, especially in rugged terrains where high pulling power is essential. For example, a diesel truck may generate 400 to 500 pound-feet of torque, compared to a gasoline truck with 300 to 350 pound-feet in a similar category. In contrast, gasoline engines are designed for speed and performance. Gasoline engines generally achieve higher peak horsepower, which translates to faster acceleration and higher top speeds. A sports car with a gasoline engine might produce 300 to 400 horsepower or more, allowing it to sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. However, this focus on power and speed comes at the cost of fuel economy, as gasoline engines burn through fuel more quickly and require more frequent refueling. In terms of performance, the advantages of gasoline and diesel engines are quite different from each other. Diesel-powered cars are more efficient and durable than gasoline ones because they can produce more torque, which means they can pull heavier loads. On the other hand, gasoline is more cost-effective and delivers more power than diesel. Gasoline vehicles can also be made and maintained cheaper than their diesel counterparts. It's worth noting that the lifespan of diesel cars is about twice as long as that of a gasoline vehicle, due to them not having any spark plug ignition system, so there's less wear and tear on parts like the pistons, valves, and cylinder heads. However, because of compression in diesel engines, if affected by temperature, diesel engines need to be plugged into a warmer when it's cold, or they won't start. When comparing diesel versus gas, and deciding which performs better on the road, it depends on what kind of driving you do most often. Diesel vehicles perform better in highway driving, while gasoline cars are best for high-speed or city driving. Well, there you have it. Diesel versus gasoline, all you need to know to make the right choice best suited for you. I hope this video was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos from us.